Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. My name is Yakabo from Playing Tables Camp in Philly. Now, this is what you call alternative lifestyle, and this former actor, I don't know who he is. It says former child star Ricky Schroder. Forgive my pronunciation, as has insane demon theory about Pride Month. This is June 8th, 2022. Former child actor turned far-right extremist made a bizarre claim about Pride Month, which is actually not bizarre. Maybe he was assaulted when he was a child. I don't know. A lot of child actors get assaulted. They're just starting to, let's say, I guess, assault children less, or they just stop doing it now because they might get exposed. I mean, actors, like directors and older actors assaulting younger actors, maybe because they were assaulted when they were young, and they repeating the crimes. It says, all right, so let's see, former Silver Spoons actor. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this TV show. All right. So, Dick Witch. Okay, this is watch this sodomite speak. I think she's going to speak. I didn't watch the video yet.
It's pretty unique how now education systems were to begin having. It's pretty unique how nowadays in our education systems we're starting to begin having these conversations of what it means to be queer. What does it mean to be gay or lesbian, or have a peer who's transgender, or respecting pronouns, which was something that was quite a shock to me as I grew up in the education system and saw that change blossom right in front of me.
We have a lot of tenacity. I think our struggles are very unique to us, especially growing up in the age entirely surrounded by social media, and that creates a very often toxic space where we have to try and defend ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a man or a woman or transitioning. I think he might have mentioned it. Links will be in the description box. I think he said other girl was she they too, I think. 16 years old. Still growing. Okay.
Especially growing up in the age entirely surrounded by social media, and that creates a very often toxic space where we have to try and defend ourselves and debate whether we deserve rights. And I think that can play a large toll on us mentally as queer youth.
We have so many different avenues of communication readily available to us that haven't been available to other generations when they were youth, and we have been able to use those to amplify our voice and to educate ourselves and to make our queer presence very, very visible and very strong. We've been able to use social media and the internet to find out more things about our rights, our legal rights, when it comes to talking about queer issues in schools, when it comes to protesting, when it comes to calling politicians and demanding queer liberation and queer justice.
We are so political, and I feel like that a lot has to do with the 2016 election and the 2020 election. All the ones more to come to. But because we grew up during those two very, very memorable elections, they inclined us to be a lot more political today and to push more forward with a lot more protesting, with a lot more canvassing, and a lot of us learned how to organize that way.
The internet is, it's a lot of things. One of the things it is amazing, and being able to talk to more people like me than I ever would have been able to in person, especially while closeted, was incredible. And I think that's something a lot of people my age and who are queer really value.
We've grown up in a world that's largely more accepting of LGBTQ plus people. It's not completely accepting, but it's way more accepting than it was for past generations. I think that's really shaped how we've grown up. For example, the Supreme Court upheld gay marriage when I was in elementary school, so I've grown up knowing that I could get married if I want to. Additionally, I also just
Yeah, lesbian relationships are some of the most violent. I think they are the most violent relationships. There's a stat on that about women either cohabitating or being in relationships. They have the worst domestic violence. All right, but the government says they're allowed to get married now. Marriage, what we believe is between a man and a woman, not people of the same sex or gender.
Like the sheer number of people that identify as LGBTQ plus and are out is astounding. Like, I think now it's like 1 in 5 adult Gen Zers.
All right, so that's that. So I don't know what this dude looks like. Ricky Schroder, actor. I guess that's him. Let's see. Silver spoons. Actor. Yeah, it's him. All right, this appears to be him right here. Not sure. It might be. These all might be the same people. Let's see. It's just probably different ages. Yeah. So. Is that Carlton Banks? Oh, I forgot his actual name. Yeah. All right. So that's him. All right. So his demon theory, which if he's a Edomite, he's a demon himself, but he believes that that the Pride Month has something to do with Satan. All right. So the link will be in the description box, but he's right actually. All right. Look up. First start off here, Leviticus 20:13 says, "If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death, their blood should be upon them." All right, now this law was put in place because you had the nations round about that were actually committing these acts that were unlawful, and Most High had to put these things in writing, so there would be no excuse if you broke it. You have a record. All right. This is considered an abomination. All right, this is a filthy act. Look up abomination. Let's look. Let me see if you can find it. That's the word right there. Let's look in the Hebrew first. You got thoa'aiba. Well, thoa'aiba. And it means disgusting thing. I haven't looked this word up in a while. An abomination. In a ritual sense, unclean. It says mixed marriages in ethical sense of wickedness. I mean, you're not supposed to marry women of the other nations or men of the other nations. All right, men. If you have a woman of another nation, she's supposed to be a concubine. All right. You're not supposed to have a marriage ceremony with a concubine. All right. So, all right, we got that there. Do we go down to? See, the B might be silent or the beta says the logma or but the logma. Let's see. Yeah, but delugma, which means a foul thing, a detestable thing. All right, a detestable thing. Intense dislike. All right, a foul, down here, a foul thing, loathsome, causing hatred or disgust, repulsive, foul. You know, like when you take a, what you call it, when you defecate, all right, and when you commit certain acts, men with men, women with women. All right, foul. Impurities, idolatry. So we know what abomination means. Bedelugma. All right, it's right here. And we got Thaiba or Thawaiba. All right. So he said, back to the original point, that he believes Pride Month is all about, you know, demons, a demon theory. All right. So you can read about exactly what he means, but I'm just going to go on the term demon theory. So when, you know, Esau goes about, he to receive power, he has to actually worship demons. All right. And Esau worships many demons, you know, a pantheon of demons. Some of them are feminine, some of them are masculine. And here in Nahum, because America's nickname, so to speak, is Babylon the Great. Her spiritual name is Babylon the Great. You know, it's feminine. All right. We look up Revelation, I believe 18, Revelation 17, tells you about the woman that sits on the, or the whore that sits on the beast. All right, that whore is America. All right, so it's feminine. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. So we know it's a feminine spirit, a feminine demon that's on America. As is why Esau's plan to create chaos was breaking up the family, putting the woman in power, putting her in charge. Like I did a previous video on the black woman calling the cops on the Black Panther director. All right. The reason why she felt comfortable doing that is because she's been put in a pedestal and given positions of power. All right. And she's, you know, a lot of women are mentally ill also. All right. Says the mistress of witchcrafts, they have, you know, a bias within their mind, and it can't get right. All right. And the only thing that's going to cure that stupidity is death. All right. By nuclear fire. The mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirt upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. All right, so that's a feminine spirit that's on Babylon, America. All right, and the only way that America and, you know, 2/3 of Israel is going to be cleansed, and the rest of Israel that are wicked are going to be cleansed, is by fire. They're going to have to be, you know, put to death in this world, all right, by the nuclear fire, by the seraphims, which are the angels, all right, and then they'll be reborn back into their right minds. All right, so it's the mistress of witchcrafts. Now, when you practice witchcraft, let's look witchcraft up. Witchcrafts. We got Kashop. So it says multiple. It's Yam and M makes it plural. So we got Kasop, and then we got yeah, that's P final, and that's P beginning or middle. Meaning you put this on the end of a word, and this would go everywhere else in the beginning and middle. So we got Kashopium, or we got Kashop. Let's make sure that's Well, it doesn't show the actual word there. It just gives the root word. All right. So. Says seductive, corrupting influences. Seductive, corruptive influences. Sorcery, witchcraft. Let's see. I hate when they use the same word to describe the same word. It's just fucking ridiculous. The practice of magic, especially black magic or use of spells. It doesn't matter if it's white magic or purple magic. All right. The practice of magic, especially, meaning you use incantations, chanting to summon demonic forces from the other world, all right, to affect this world. All right, rituals, chantings. You're communicating and pulling power from a evil spirit. All right, seductive, corrupting influences. All right. So, all right. So we got the Leviticus, palm of the bull. All right, we got Romans. Well, hold on. Let's go to this is 2015. Why Detroit has the largest satanic temple chapter in the U.S. I don't know. The largest public satanic ceremony in history took place Saturday in Detroit. This is from 2015, July 27th. So it's
The lines ran along the graffitied walls, at least 100 people eagerly waiting for what's been kept well under wraps.
It said dress like an animal or wear horns and tails.
Some drove in from as far as upstate New York to see the Satanic Temple unveil a 9-foot-tall bronze statue of a goat-headed Satan.
It just seemed like it would be a historic event.
The guests came dressed to impress. Each paid at least $25 for a ticket. Security inside was tight. No cameras or media allowed in. No cell phones and photographs allowed. The secretive nature of the event didn't prevent a few protesters from attending.
We figured, well, if they're going to unveil a statue and show a statue, well, we're going to show the statue that beat this statue behind the scenes in reality. That's, recounted in the St. John's Apocalypse that St. Michael and his angels defeated Lucifer and his angels.
Members of the Satanic
right, that didn't happen yet. That's referring to World War III. That the world's armies, all the nations that are fighting each other, are going to turn to fight the Lord. That's what that's talking about.
Satanic Temple, who say they stand for the separation of church and state, kept mum Saturday night, focused instead on showing their guests a good time. Some came out of curiosity, others just to appreciate the art. And they say don't knock it just because it's not your taste.
A sculpture or a piece of art or a tribute to something that they don't understand is not necessarily going to impact their religion or their beliefs.
There was so much buzz about the night, Detroit police set up outside just to make sure the Satanists and the naysayers stayed civil.
We support anyone's First Amendment right to practice whatever religion they want or to come out and protest against that, their freedom of speech. So, we're there basically to protect the rights of everyone involved.
In the end, the group made good on its promise to make this an exclusive event. Guests patient enough to make it through the line were promptly sent out the back door where outsiders can only imagine the real party awaits.
All right, that's America. So now you saw what the Star Rim fan, we used to wear that symbol, but through research and what we already knew that there was a theory that was the Star Rim fan. All right, and over the process of time, we evolved and we stopped wearing it, and we had it on the sign, and we covered the sign up and everything because we can conclude it through research and prayer that was not a symbol that we should be wearing. All right, now some Israelites still wear that symbol, which you shouldn't be wearing that symbol, and that should not be on any 12 tribe sign. If you have it on a 12 tribe sign, cover it up or color it in or something. Don't show it. Whenever I put the post production, because the original has the Star Rim fan on there, I cover it up. All right, I don't display it because that's not a symbol that we should be displaying. Because we evolve, through knowledge and prayer, that's not something we should be wearing. All right, so that's just that video on that. And I just typed in Baphomet and homosexuality, and these gifts kept coming up. All these like shirts and gifts, except like you buy somebody a gift, and so yeah, didn't even notice these type of shirts existed. Well, I know that type existed, but I didn't notice this gay Hail Satan thing existed. So, and then what other? I had Star Rim fan, and you seen that symbol? It says in the New Testament in I thought it was in Amos 5:6. It is seen as a reference to Amos 5. I have to look that up. But that's where Acts 7:43. I have that. And they're saying it means 360 anyway, and it could mean that. So I've heard that before. All right, but whether it's a symbol that our ancestors carried or not, that's not. I didn't see any evidence of our ancestors in their righteous kingdom carrying this symbol. Now, this symbol was carried by some Eastern European nations that our people were ruling, but there's no evidence to say that like King David was carrying it or Solomon was carrying it. All right, so that's not something that we should be wearing. All right, because although our people ruled Europe, they were the dukes and the kings and the queens of different European countries. Don't mean they were righteous kingdoms. All right, so leave that there. And go to where it says it at, and so this is a chapter where is this Stephen or no? Yeah, Stephen's defense. Yeah, Stephen's chapter. That's when they stoned him. He saw the Son of Man sitting in the right hand of the Most High, and they killed him for saying that last statement. So he's going over all the history. And he said, then 742. Then the power turned and gave them up to worship the host of heaven, as it is written in the book of the prophets. O ye house of Israel, have ye offered to me slain beasts and sacrifices by the space of 40 years in the wilderness? So this was Moses and Aaron. Aaron made the idol because he feared the people. Yeah, ye took up the tabernacle of Molech and the star of your god Remphan, figures which ye made to worship them, and I will carry you away beyond Babylon. All right, so when we were about to be taken down by the, let's say, Assyrian Babylonian Empire, all right, that these are the gods that we were worshiping. Molech, Remphan, says, let me look up Remphan. It's a star, Remphan. Yeah, fight, Rifan. Rifan. So it has the word there. Okay. Rifan. Shrunken, lifeless. The name of an idol worshipped secretly by the Israelites in the wilderness. Also, they were worshiping this in the wilderness. Okay. So I'm sure they were worshiping it throughout, our goings, whether in the wilderness and, during the different kingdoms, this idol was secretly worshipped. All right. See, word Remphan, Egyptian idol. So it may have come from Egypt. Remphan. All right. So it says Hebrew origin. So I'll look that up. It says, Kayawan. And it says probably a statue of a Syrian Babylonian god of the planet Saturn and used to symbolize Israelite apostasy. Yeah, because the Assyrians and Babylonians, like I read that the Assyrians respected the guess the culture of Babylon. So these two kingdoms kind of merged together, their culture. That's why there's a lot of confusion about Assyrian and Babylonians, who's who. All right, the image of pillar. So I saw something about Satan. Oh, Saturn. Okay. Well, I believe Saturn is supposed to be Satan, if I'm not mistaken. All right. For example, the planet Saturn, regarded by the Phoenician Semitic people as an evil demon to appease by expiatory sacrifices. I think that means like death. Let me look that up real quick. Oh, it means to appease, having power to atone for one offended by way of expiation or propitiation, to appease, to sacrifice by appeasing. If I'm reading that right. Let's see. Expiate. Let me see. Expiatory. On my phone. Expiate. Let me look at expiate. To make amends, permission to expiate their offenses by their assiduous labors, to extinguish the guilt incurred by, to put an end to. All right. So, people as an evil demon to be appeased by expiatory sacrifices. All right, so whatever sacrifice they had to make to appease this demon. All right, so yes, we believe that alternative lifestyle, celebrations and their lifestyles in general are demonic. All right, and I think we have right here Baphomet. Baphomet was allegedly worshipped as a deity, is Wikipedia, by the medieval order of Knights Templar. King Philip IV of France, all right, was more likely he was an Israelite, had many French Templars simultaneously arrested and then tortured into confessions in October 307. The name Baphomet appeared in a trial transcriptions for inquisitions of Knight Templars the same year. Over 100 different charges have been leveled against the Templars, including heresy, homosexual relations, spitting and urinating on the cross, and sodomy. They say sodomy is, that's what Esau says. Yeah, it's about going through the anus, which it is. But sodomy in general is men with men, women with women. But they say it's just the anus. All right. Most of them were dubious, doubtful. All right, so we got that there. Baphomet is a symbol. This is just what they say. It's a balance of various occult mystical traditions. All right. This is where you get the alternative lifestyle, the trans movement from, because it's both male and female. All right. Other name called sabbatic goat. It's half human. That's Pan. Peter Pan. That's a goat. It's a homosexual goat demon. All right. You can just look him up. Half human, half animal. Male and female, good and evil. There's no good in this thing. All right. Intention was to symbolize the concept of balance. No, it wasn't. It's an abomination. It's a demon that's worshipped on the left-hand side. All right, we did that. All right, so we got two more scriptures, I think, or one more. No, okay. It says Molech. So we went through a lot of information. Oh, the Hebrew. Yeah, okay, we did that. Egyptian idol. Worshiping of Saturn. No, right there. Yep, planet Saturn. And Saturn, I believe, is supposed to be Satan. All right. Apparently, they got from, our ancestors got from Egypt. So, right there, it says, for this cause, Romans 1:26 gave them the vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. So within our culture and within our, which is our heritage, our religion, you cannot be an alternative lifestyle person and become part of a congregation. All right. Likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of women, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves a recompense of their error, which was met. Even as they did not like to retain the power in their knowledge, the power gave them over to a reprobate mind, meaning not standing the test. All right, failing to do things which are not convenient or not fit. All right. So they left the following the covenant and sought after a different lifestyle, a different way of living, and sought after different gods. All right. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, lewd sexual acts, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers. All right, we jump down to 32. Who, knowing the judgment of the power, they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Just commit. The church, the Christian church, they believe that you can be, well, most anyway, that you can be an alternative lifestyle person and still be on, let's say, God's good side. That's not a fact. That's a lie. To exercise, practice, to be busy with, to commit, says to perpetrate, to carry out or commit harmful, illegal, or immoral action. To practice. So you cannot practice alternative lifestyle and be on God's good side, so to speak. All right. You can't keep the customs of the heathen or keep customs outside of the lawful customs and be on the Lord's good side. You can't do that. You can't keep those customs. All right. So I ended there with a few things. The alternative lifestyle people definitely have a demon on them. All right. And if you practice those things, you are not on the Lord's good side. You're going to be judged by nuclear fire. So I hope you edified. Shalom.